What a weird allerg.
I feel like I said that quite recently. Fox, thank you for 88 months. Rudy, congratulations on 10 pounds. Hello. Hold on, I'll be right back. I'm back. It would have to come massively down. Felix Umbra, thank you for 114 months. I'm excited to get out of this place. You don't even have to be nosy around here because people will come do their shit right up next to you. This is what I've found. For instance, what captured my curiosity just then was someone pulled up and parked, but they pulled up and parked in a way that was like, I don't even understand how their car worked that way, where they weren't like fucking around in the road. Because it sounded like they were like, yes, it's me, Bugs. I am your TV show. It was like a cartoon car out there. When I looked out the window, I expected to see somebody like driving in circles in the middle of the road, but that didn't happen. And what did happen was that they had pulled up and parked, and then they proceeded to have an extremely loud phone conversation. It was one of those ones where they're talking like on Bluetooth in their car. So I heard the phone ring, and then I hear like wah, 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 wah. And it's like, you're right You're right here. I can hear you. I can see you. It's just weird. I mean, what are they doing? Why are they here? Why are they not like at home? So that's a perfect illustration of what is happening. uh yeah. I'm somehow experiencing, like how people complain about people who use speakerphone in public, but they're talking about like they went on the bus and there was someone else on the bus or the subway or whatever, and that was where it occurred. Oh, wait, hold on. I hear the cartoon car again. Hold on. I gotta see what it's doing. I know why it's a cartoon car now. It's just a piece of shit. It's a fucking jalopy. Oh, I don't know what kind of car that was, but it was like I think it was like an Altima or something, but it idled like shit. Just sitting still when they started the car back up, it was just going like it was like an old man with a bushy mustache grumbling. So, yep, just goofy shit going on. Did I tell you guys I had a panic attack thinking about the animals the other day? Oh no. Sometimes that shit comes across a little condescending. And it's my own voice too. I say that I experienced some trauma, and then you have the ability to just fire off a "oh no" at me right afterwards. It's a little bit much. It's a little bit much sometimes. Just immediately too. Oh, hey guys. I wasn't sure if I was going to get on today, but my whole family died. Oh no. Okay, well, I'm going to leave then. Anyway. I don't even want to tell it now because it's so mundane. Uh, the other day we went out. It was storming like fucking crazy. It was wild. It was basically the amount of time that we were out was the amount of time that it thunderstormed. We left right when it started. It whipped ass the whole time, and then we got home and it stopped. I was only half listening, and that was like a 6-hour span. Jacri, thank you for 6 months. Anyway, Nakomi and I were yapping about shit. Started talking about the move. We were talking about stuff we needed to do. And one of the things we were talking about was sort of figuring out, like, how are we going to coordinate the animals? And actually, just going to tell you guys about this again is bringing the feeling back up. It like triggers me every single time I try to think about it. I'm just going to try to describe. Basically, we were like, well, we should move the animals over first, and then we'll have them, in enclosed rooms. So that way there's not going to be an issue with the movers and open doors and things like that. And again, even right now, just the thought of that is like, it's making me have like a panic attack. I don't know why this is affecting me so much. And I mean like a real, like, I feel my stomach drop kind of feeling. And I feel like I'm going to flip out. I wish I could get over it. And I don't know exactly what it is, but it's like the combo of, I think, just like the place is unknown to me still, sort of. I've only been there once. It's a lot of animals. And then there's sort of the extra factor of, like, notoriously in my life, in my experience, people who aren't you just don't mind the doors and stuff. Every fucking time. Even just the other day, we had somebody over for a moment to check something out, to look into doing a repair. And they came through and they witnessed the animals, and then they went through another door and then just left it ajar. Nobody closes a door for some reason, and this was a door to the outside. Now, of course, because I'm so used to this being the case with people, I just was already on guard for it. I was like, I just know that they're going to go through there, and they're just going to leave that door open. So I'm just going to watch. And that is what occurred. And so I think it's like the combo of, like, I can't trust other people, because what's triggering me is like the thought of, like, the movers aren't going to listen to our instructions, and they're going to open the door that has the animals and just let them all out. I think that's what's getting me. It's sort of like it's a weird kind of agoraphobic feeling too. It's just sort of like a lack of control. This is also why I can't, like, I have to drive. I can't be a passenger in a car. Because I start getting this kind of like racing thoughts sort of feeling. Not racing, like, not like a race car driver. I just realized what I was saying there. Anyway. It's fine. I'm fine. Everything's fine. Yeah. It's wild how many, like, I would say that in my estimation, 90% of people don't close doors. That's what it feels like to me. Because I can't think of a time where we've had someone who had to come over and, like, work on something or visit or whatever, where they didn't just fucking leave the doors ajar. They just, like, go through the door, and then the moment that they're through the door, they're done with the door. It's over between me and door. They just keep going. I don't understand it. Like, is this somebody else's house? You just left the front door open? It's real strange. Very common. Very, very common.
Reticulating sperms.
Anyway, I'm trying not to freak out about it. I'm trying to just be cool. I'm just having a time. And like I said, even just telling you this now has kind of brought it up again. And now I'm not feeling amazing. Boxborn, thank you for the 3 gift subs. I think I'm also, though, in a weird way, I'm kind of a little bit fascinated and curious about the fact that this makes me have this feeling consistently. Like, I I can just walk right up to it and like flip the panic attack switch feels weird to me. Serial killers, yeah. Famously. Famously. Forgive me, I just gotta like take a moment now. I thought I would be able to tell you and not be bothered. I thought wrong. Weird. That's really weird, Klaus. I know, right, Nin? I kept feeling that way. Like, okay, can I just turn this off then? Yeah, I don't know, really, Copper. I think it's, from our perspective, it's going to be a matter more so of just ensuring the safety. Um, that's the main issue. And they're going to have to be in one end or the other, or of the move. I said that weird and it sounded really strange. At, not in, at. Yeah. Ugh. It is almost a river crossing puzzle because some of the animals can't be together. So there is that. But we also don't have the limitations of the river crossing puzzle. The problem, Bugs, I feel, is that we just have a bit more of a circus going on. We have a bit more of a whole ass zoo. And it's like, it's just going to be too much. And so this is about security, essentially. It's like, we need to like contain ahead of time. I don't know. It's messing with me. It's messing with me. I gotta stop. I gotta stop. I gotta stop. It's weird. I haven't had something bother me like this in so long. Hey, buddy. It's okay. It's okay, Mr. Bee Bear. A grove. Huh. Is this like a choose your path? She lit a second cigarette with the embers of the first one. She trembled, sweating a little under a heavy coat. It was warmer near the doors, but she was following directions. No smoking within 25 feet of hospital entrance. Kate gently rolls a fallen branch and plucks something white from the underside. She holds it up for Ezra to examine. Are these... Oh, this one's not interactive. Or it is, if I choose it. What do I do? What should I do? I'm honestly interested in both of these. I'm imagining that I only get to pick one. I find this really compelling, but I also want to know what's up. I want to know where this goes. Oh, I'm going to pick this one. Oh, the other one didn't go away. They're both staying. Kate. Pluricybella porigens. The common name is angel wings. Isn't that pleasant? They have a delicate, springy texture, and they're tasty, like sweet moss. So she stood by a hot dog cart parked at the edge of the sidewalk. Would you like a bite? Okay. Sweet moss doesn't sound very tasty to me. Oh, we're all out. Okay. Ezra takes a small bite and ruminates. Hell yeah, Arfie. That sounds awesome. What do you think? Is it supposed to be spicy? No. Go ahead and spit that out. It's okay. Oops. My mushroom hunting mentor told me it's useless to pretend to know mushrooms. They escape your erudition. The more you know them, the less sure you feel about identifying them. She taps the cover of the small red book she's carrying. That's why I always bring my favorite guidebook. She points to a small mushroom growing in the dirt. Oh, here's an important one to recognize, though. Look, see the sort of greenish pallor of the cap? Amanita phallodes. That's Greek. Amanita means mushroom, and phallodes means... never mind. Can you eat it? Only once. It's deadly poisonous. Death cap. That's the common name. It's killed a lot of people, this little mushroom, including a few Roman emperors. It's a revolutionary. Even the Buddha died from eating a mushroom when he was very old. That's just what they do. Clear away old things, make room for new things. Pretty important, right? I've always thought they deserved a little more respect. Would you like to help me look for a few more? I have a sort of shopping list. Shopping list. Great. Look for... Actually, just grab any mushrooms that catch your eye and throw them in this bag. Let me know when you're done, and we'll see what you've got. Have fun. That's the second rule of mushroom hunting. The first rule is ask Kate before eating anything, okay? Kate kneels in the grass. She parts the grass with her garden knife, studiously combing the ground. Ezra pokes around the base of a cypress tree. A brownish clump of mushrooms feathers out from the base of the cypress tree. A few feet above, several pale blue puffs cling to the trunk. The hot dog vendor tried to strike up a conversation with some immediately too personal questions. She decided to give him the benefit of the doubt. Maybe he considered it part of his job, she thought, to offer his customers some kind of counsel. Maybe it was to salve his guilty conscience for selling junk food outside a hospital. There are no mushrooms in the grass. He didn't like to play in the house. It was always too cold. It seemed to store up the cold at night, then slowly discharge it into his bones during the day, while the sun bounced feebly off the windows. But he liked to play in the woods behind the house. The woods were full of deer. His dad said the deer liked best to live on the edges of forests. Recent development in the area had created a lot of fresh edges, so they massed here and sometimes ran into the road. Kate digs in a bare patch of dirt. It's a bit muddy from flooding or the general dampness of the caves. She finds two promising specimens: a dark spotted brown cap and a dense bundle of dark ridges. Had she ever tried any alternative medicines? Acupuncture, homeopathy, Ayurveda, magical thinking? She said she'd never heard of any of those things. He fished a stray hot dog out of the pickle jar. Kate inspects the spotted brown cap. The bottom of the cap is covered in tiny tooth-like protrusions. Ezra examines the blue puffs. He prods one of the pale orbs with a stick, and it cracks open a little, releasing a fine dust into the air. He felt like the world outside the woods had somehow slipped away while he was gone, and now there was nothing but the woods. He kept going. Ezra carefully removes a puffball and puts it in his bag. Ezra closes his eyes and listens to the water and the distant clicking of bats. Kate plucks the mushroom from the dirt and puts it in her bag. Kate tries to wipe some mud off her boot. Oh, you got one? Let's see it. He tripped on a protruding root and lay for a while in the mud, examining the pale upper branches of a sycamore tree, listening to the soft rumble of a faraway thunderstorm, then louder, closer, and his hair stood on end, and there was the bird. Ezra hands Kate the blue puffball he took from the cypress tree. A blue puffball. Interesting. I don't think I've seen this exact species before. This one's too old to be of any use, anyway. Puffballs get all dried out like this as they age, until they're so delicate that it only takes the slightest agitation. Kate gently shakes the puffball. It bursts into a cloud of spores. And the wind does the rest. See, it's weakness as a survival strategy. A kind of radical, transformative weakness. I just found this one. Kate takes the spotted brown cap out of her bag. Okay, this one is called Bitter Hedgehog, and it's on my list. It's great for nausea, which is basically the #1 complaint of the pregnant women I treat. It tastes kind of like black pepper. It's okay. I let it dry out so it's really tough, and they just chew on it like bubblegum. So, What do your parents do? For work, I mean. My dad used to sell windows. People were building a lot of new houses, and they needed a lot of windows. But then they stopped building houses. My mom worked at a bakery and a bar. Sometimes she would see the same people in the morning and the evening. The bakery closed and she doesn't work at the bar anymore, but she still goes there a lot to see her friends. Do you have a family? I left home when I was very young. Not much older than you, actually. I bounced around jobs and shelters and finally found my way back to the Echo River. Never looked back. I've basically been on my own since then. Well, that's not really true. Just about everyone who sets foot aboard the Mucky Mammoth feels like family to me now. I guess if nobody's family, then everybody's family. These are the only trees in this whole cave. Who planted them here? Right, not many trees down here in the dark. I know these are some kind of cypress, and they were definitely planted here deliberately, by someone who... I guess I don't know much about this place, really. It's supposed to be some kind of memorial to something. Will would know more. Sorry, it's a mystery. Ezra kicks the dirt. Months later, she came across a book on homeopathic medicine in a used bookstore and bought it. She thought it was mostly bullshit, but found the author's notes on the unpredictability of mushrooms immediately compelling. Spiritual, even. She started collecting mushrooms on hikes, never eating them, just collecting, identifying, and discarding. Eventually, she connected with the Lexington Mycological Society and began to study in earnest the medicinal uses of fungi. It's a mystery. I'll search for clues. She put out her cigarette, said goodbye to the hot dog vendor, and spent the rest of the afternoon listening to doctors and trying to understand the world as they did, as a list of discrete injuries to be mended. Ezra examines a large stone monument. The monument is covered with lichen and painted text. Ezra inspects the lichen. Colorful lichen coats the surface of the monument, mixing with the painted graffiti, in some places indistinguishably. Ezra investigates a cypress tree. The tree smells spicy, oily. Ezra inspects the bark. A message is carved in the bark. Bark carving. O-Z-Y. Ozzy. Ezra inspects the contents of his pockets. Alright, what have you got? There's some weird, colorful moss growing on the stone face monument. Ah, that's called lichen. It's actually part fungus. It's sort of a weird hybrid. Not really my area of expertise, but some of it has useful medicinal properties, and some of it is poison. The usual. Haha. It's beautiful, though, isn't it? What do you think that monument is for? I'm not sure anyone remembers. Somebody carved Ozzy in that tree over there. Oh, huh. What do you think it means? It's part of somebody's name, or it's short for something. Observe 0 yaks. Old zebra yard. Ornery zoologist yacht. I don't know what that means. Yeah, it was a stretch. Well, Ezra, I can't say I know what that all adds up to. Like I said, I wish Will was here. He'd have some local history for us. We can ask him back on the boat. Kate and Ezra look up at an old battleship drifting by. Ah, there it is. The Iron Pariah. Don't worry, it's just passing by. What do you think of it? Have you ever been aboard? Oh no, I've never even been close. I have to admit I'm a little curious, but... well, sometimes places get an aura of the forbidden about them, and it just seems best to stay away. Plus, it would ruin the mystery. Supposedly, there's nobody even aboard. No people, I mean. There must be something on there. Life is everywhere. Rats, insects, some kind of hardy mold. Part of it could be flooded and host to some of the eyeless fish that live in the Echo. Hey, maybe there are some mushrooms growing in there, slowly consuming military rations from over 100 years ago. I've heard it was in the Civil War. I guess they had boats full of soldiers and supplies going up and down the Ohio River, and they fought on the river, like boat to boat, with cannons or something, I guess. Machine guns? I'm no military historian, as you can probably tell. Anyway, I guess this one just got lost and somehow ended up all the way down here. Maybe it slipped into a cave up north. They're all connected underground. There's another version of the story where it didn't get lost. It was full of deserters. They came down here to hide. Maybe that's why it's a pariah. More mysteries. They do pile up over time, as people forget the details. Thanks for taking me mushroom picking. Mushroom hunting. You can pick apples because they're right out there in the open. Mushrooms hide. You have to hunt for them. Ezra's parents shook him awake. They seemed alarmed, but not immediately concerned. They led him back to the house, past the house, into the car. Dad said they were going to stay at the bus station for a while, the one with the little arcade, with the car game he liked. Dad watched him closely in the rearview mirror, expecting Ezra to be excited, or confused, or scared, but he didn't feel anything. He hardly seemed to hear. In fact, he felt like he was observing the family car from a distance, from far above, from the clouds. Fascinating. I don't think there's nothing I can do, right? Other than just enjoy the atmosphere. See that rough circle of rocky protrusions near the shore? It's more intricate than it looks. More than 2/3 of it is actually underwater. I haven't seen it myself, but listen to this. Damn it. I was thwarted by my politeness. I got to the end of that, I paused and I ripped ass really loud. And then I realized how perfect of a setup it was. Oh well. It's man-made, and the rocks weren't placed according to their size. So what's visible is more or less uniformly random selection of the overall shape. It looks like it might be a spiral, all told, or maybe some kind of meditative labyrinth. At the head of it is a petrified oak stump. That was moved here from above ground, of course, decades ago. That's where the ceremony took place. I like these here. All these little trees. The Lock-Lucks were married here. Many frail-tongued observers said they should just go with lock or luck, or split the difference with look, or even lick, or really anything else, but it was never going to happen. Marge Luck and Errol Locke met in prison. She was a volunteer teaching conflict mediation skills to guards. I can't read. And he was employed at the side gate accepting deliveries and greeting visitors. Aw. Neither of them once saw a prisoner. Their engagement was welcome news for the family businesses, who had been looking for some opportunity to merge interests. These were the Locks of Lock Large Animal Storage and the Lucks of the Luck Family Nut Company. Surely someone in some branch of those two great trees had elephant husbandry on the brain. This is all speculation. The ceremony itself was humble and perfunctory, and it must have somehow involved these rocks. Maybe they walked around them in a spiral, like a symbol of their ever-tightening bond. And it must have also involved that petrified stump. Neither family is particularly religious, but rumors persist that the officiant wore a robe. I've chosen outside every time, and I'm not breaking from tradition. Shannon and her friend set out in the dinghy to deliver a package at the telephone exchange. Echo River Central Exchange. Thanks again for your help. This is about as far as the tugboat can go. You know, noise and lights disturb the bats. I usually send Will, but he's up to his elbows in mammoth grease right now. So you'll pass through the Bat Sanctuary, which is really nice, by the way. Be sure to check out all the plaques and stuff for cool bat facts. Plenty of time. Anyway, the Echo River Central Exchange, or excuse me, Consolidated Auxiliary Switch number 30, they changed the name when the power company took over. Anyway, it's just on the other side of the Bat Sanctuary. This package is going to Poppy. She's an operator. The operator. We'll meet you on the other side at Sam and Ida's for our scheduled early breakfast stop. Just follow the river. Can't miss it. Oh, I almost forgot. You may or may not be interested. There's this kind of weird memorial sculpture on your way in, just before the Bat Sanctuary. I always recommend people at least stop and take a look at it. It's really sort of, I don't know how to say it. You should just check it out. Okay, bye. Whoa. Oh. Whoa. Yo. This is sick. What the hell? We claim these helmets in the names of the folks who wore them, and we place them here in their memory, but also as a spit in the greedy green eye of that power company who bought up our old mine and traded our brothers and sisters' safety for a little more yield, but only yielded 28 good men and women dead when the walls collapsed and the tunnels filled with water. Their lungs were black, but now they're washed clean and full of water, too, and swept through hidden tunnels into some awful cave we will never find. And so we guess the water buried them for us, so let this here be the marker for their grave. And if any son of a bitch from that power company wants to take that back, these helmets, take back these helmets as company property, just you try it and see what will happen. What's up?
You know how I always say that, like, tanks for nothing is really cool, but I feel like he's overstocking?
Yes.
I found the opposite of that.
What's in there? A betta?
No?
Crab. Vampire crab times 1.
Yeah. Look how small.
And that's it?
Yeah, that's it.
No fish?
No. I watched the whole thing. I was like, okay, when's the next one? But no, this is...
What about bugs?
No, nothing.
There's no bugs.
There's nothing.
You can't just have a vampire crab in that.
Oh, they do.
You won't even ever see it. It's going to be completely alone.
Yeah, no, that was in the next one, was never to be seen again.
Oh.
That was what it said in the description.
Okay. All right.
But anyway. Yeah. It was a cute crowd.
Yeah. Hey, Elkhorn. That's the mine we met in, sorry. Where your folks worked. Looks like it's been here a while. I sure as hell wouldn't mess with it. You think whoever wrote it is still that angry? I don't think you ever forget anger like that. No, I guess you probably don't. This probably stirs up... I mean, how do you... It's fine. I'm glad this is here. People should remember this happened. Well, here we are, remembering. And I didn't even know it the first time around, but here I am remembering it now. And that's a fine memorial, I guess. What? You're looking at me like I'm crazy. Just, sometimes I forget I don't even really know you that well. Yeah, well, that makes two of us. You know, those guys from the distillery are just making the best of a bad situation. just like the rest of us. Hey, one of them said to me earlier they could even help me take care of these medical bills for my leg, you know? Get it all together on a plan, consolidated. What? When did you talk to them about that? Oh, they're around. They're pretty much everywhere you look on this river. You really haven't noticed? Anyway, I have a feeling it'll all work out. Yeah. This guy's rough, man. Just that sort of weird... Like he's just being absorbed. He's being taken over. He's sort of giving into it. Even for me? Hey, why not? Seems like we're getting pretty close to finding your cousin, right? Besides that, you're young and smart. Plenty of time to bounce back from whatever. Listen, that old truck I've been driving belonged to my boss, Ira, Lysette's husband. To be honest, Ira didn't like me very much, but somehow Lys got it into her mind that he would have wanted me to have that truck someday. Maybe to make up for all the yelling he did. Maybe so his ghost could hold it over me. Just one more thing to feel like I owed him for. Anyway, they got their own trucks at the distillery. And now that the antique shop is closing up, I've got no use for that old truck. I was thinking you could take it. I barely know you. Hell, I barely know anyone. It's not like I'm going to give this truck to my damn brother or something. I don't even know how to get a hold of him these days. Well, just think about it anyway. You'd be doing me a favor, you know. One less thing to deal with. Man, that shit is sad. Sad, sad, sad. Visitors to the Echo River American Black Bat Artificial Hibernaculum and Sanctuary are asked to take extra precautions in order to prevent the introduction of foreign fungal contaminants and the spread of white nose syndrome. Please do not visit the sanctuary during the same day in which you visited any cave known or suspected to host bats infected with white nose syndrome. Please do not leave your vehicle. If you must leave your vehicle, please remove shoes, clothes, jewelry, headwear, and eyeglasses to ensure you do not bring any foreign spores ashore with you. Please do not touch any bats or structures. The American black bat is confused by light. If you are using a lantern or other artificial light source, be aware that it may attract and confuse bats. If you are approached by bats, do not panic. Relax. Stop your vehicle and switch off your light. Never touch a bat. Bat fact. Ever talk with your mouth full? Bats do it all the time. Bats talk in extremely high-frequency clicks, too high for humans to hear. Then they use their powerful ears to scan for the echoes of these ultrasonic clicks. By comparing very subtle differences in the time these echoes take to come back, differences of just millionths of a second, bats are able to picture their environment with enough accuracy to catch a flying insect. Once a bat has caught an insect in its mouth, it's still flying, and so it still needs to avoid running into anything. So bats keep clicking away, even while they munch on a tasty bug snack. It might be poor table manners, but it's crucial for surviving in the dark. I wonder how the other bats know whether one of them is really talking or just chasing a bug. I think when they're actually communicating, it sounds more like singing. I'd like to hear that. A tasty bug snack. This water looks so good, it's crazy. Bat fact. The American black bat's natural diet mostly consists of moths and other small insects that breed along the river. Here at the artificial hibernaculum and sanctuary, we use a combination of chemical snares and ultrasonic wards to repel all potentially contaminant-bearing insects, and replace them with our own locally bred and spawned hypoallergenic antiseptic pseudomoths, which we call the little gray nothing moth. You may be thinking that the other moths and insects the American black bat would have been eating are very much relieved that their natural predator has found another food source. Not so. We've installed netting and highly effective moth traps along the river where the American black bat normally hunts to balance their escape from the food chain. But eating moths isn't the only systemic contribution these bats make. They also produce a potent fertilizer in the form of guano that helps plant life thrive along the Echo River, the shore of Lake Lead. In order to minimize the sanctuary's impact on subterranean agriculture, we collect that precious guano here at the hibernaculum and manually distribute throughout the caves. It's a full-time job. Sounds like a lot of work. It's all fake, except for the bats. Yeah, I guess so. Reminds me of that guy Donald and his crew down there at the computer. It kind of bothers me, like, they're tricking the bats? Yeah, in this case, I think it's about survival. I mean, if that's the bottom line, what's the difference? Like the folks in the mine, you said they used to buy stuff. Fans, canaries, all those little trinkets to make it bearable. There's still a lot of stuff down there. It feels cluttered, but human. I just mean, all people need is enough to pretend we're home, and we can make it anywhere. You get kind of philosophical when you're drinking. Did anyone ever tell you that? Yeah, I guess I do. Nah, this is nothing. I used to have this drinking buddy who would get loaded and tell the weirdest damn riddles, like, which is more musical, a truck passing by a factory or a truck passing by a music school? Huh. Count your blessings. What? 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 This whole game feels like Limbo or something. White nose syndrome is still largely a mystery. We suspect that the white fungal growth which appears on bats' faces and wings irritates and confuses them, causing them to awaken early from hibernation and venture outside, depleting stored energy they need to survive through winter. But biologists are nowhere near curing the disease. It spreads quickly, and it is highly fatal. In this way, White nose syndrome has drawn some comparisons to colony collapse disorder as suffered by bees. White nose syndrome and colony collapse disorder are sudden, violent, and mysterious. Will honeybees and the American black bat be two more lost species, wiped out in a geological blink and forgotten to natural history? It's possible that a cure won't be identified in time, so the sanctity of this artificial hibernaculum is our best hope of preserving them. As you leave the Echo River American black bat hibernaculum and sanctuary, please make sure your vehicle and clothing are free of hitchhikers. We must build a better Batman. Ooh. A tunnel. Oh. Careful up there. Can't drive your new truck if you slip and break your legs. You too. Try not to make any more bad deals while I'm gone. I'll just be floating along down here. I just mean keep your eyes open. Don't look back. Oh, hi. I remember you. What are you doing down here? I'm just exploring. I like dark underground places. I'm a romantic. So am I think. Yeah, you'd have to be to hang out down here. Okay, bye. Dashiell. Could be bypassed with another capacitor at 100 nanofarads to reduce noise. If your circuit's too noisy, you should tie those floating pins to the ground. Or to ground. Huh. That's a pretty good idea. They're probably picking up all kinds of radio interference. Dashiell Morse, pleased to meet you. We don't install this type of phone for customers anymore, but there are quite a few of them still in circulation. Anyway, the new system doesn't source enough current to ring these old bells, so I'm trying to come up with a workaround. Maybe a little box the customer could attach right before the wall jack. I'm a bit of a circuit geek myself. I bet. I mean, you seem very comfortable with electronics. Is this your first time down here? Yeah, I can tell. Your eyes can't quite adjust to the light. It takes some practice. Believe it or not, I've been coming here since I was a kid. For one reason or the next. Back then, this place was a train station. It's true. They had bats then too, but they were considered a nuisance. What did you come here for as a kid? I usually came here with my grandmother. We took the train out to the town she lived in, or in the other direction back to my parents' home. In my memories, it was always cold. Winter, I guess. Sometimes now I walk along the tunnel, run my hand along these wet stone walls, and close my eyes. Ringing footsteps and the drip, drip, drip of the grimy stalactites. Well, The river shifted, and this place slowly filled with water, carrying the trains away with the current. It does that, the river, and I don't begrudge it. It's a good reminder that everything we have is borrowed, even trains. Eventually, someone at the Bureau of Reclaimed Spaces heard this place was still empty, so they moved the phone company in here. I returned here as a young lineman, a skill I picked up in wartime, running telephone wires behind enemy lines. We used trees instead of poles. I missed that, actually. They were easier to climb. It's just as well. I'm in no shape to be climbing anything these days. The closest I get is patching up the wiring in the crystal room for the WEVP folks. WEVP, that's community television. I volunteered there for a number of years. I know everybody over there. Ralph, Sherry, Weaver, Dave. Weaver Marquez? Sure, Weaver Marquez. That's funny, I was just thinking about her. Yeah, I met her a couple times at the TV station. I suppose I didn't know her too well. She handled the archives, and I was helping with wiring and stuff. She really seemed to know her way around all that gear, though. She had a head for signals, I think. No idea where she ended up. I would guess she's probably not too popular around the station anymore, but I always liked her. Listen, miss, if you're interested in WEVP, you should go talk to them directly. They're always looking for volunteers. Take the ferry over to the silo. There's a mail stop there. They don't have a sign or anything. Just ask around. I guess I'll get back to this damn old ringer. Poppy's just a little further down if you're dropping off that package. Nice chatting with you. Plaque. Abel and Eloise, the lovers' couriers. Bred for racing, Abel and Eloise spent most of their lives as carrier pigeons in the employ of the Echo River Avian Post. They retired here after Abel was disfigured in an accident with a light aircraft. But old habits were hard to die. Abel and Eloise would pick up scraps of paper from the ground, the trash, even pull them out of pockets and deliver them to other people nearby, to delight or embarrassment. Word spread, and travelers passing through this tunnel began to come prepared with love letters, poems, and other written desires to pass along indirectly through these pigeons. After a hard day's work, Abel and Eloise would always be found nestled closely together in a disused newspaper stand set aside for their habitation, and that's where we left them. Poppy. Just set it right over there by the lamp, sweetie, thanks. Actually, just a minute. Does that parcel claim to be from? It's a weird thing to get to choose. I don't know. Consolidated Power Company. Oh dear, I'm afraid to open it. So, who are you? Do you work for the post office or the tugboat? I only ask because I haven't seen you before. Was that you I heard chatting down the hall? Yeah, I just met Dashiell. He's been working on that obsolete ringer, hasn't he? Poor Dashiell. You know, he's not really. He was let go a while back. A long while, actually. When they started restructuring, he was one of the first to go. But he talked them into letting him come every day and fiddle with some interminable project. He says it's just to keep a long gap from growing his resume. But I think he just has nothing better to do. One of those old men who needs to work, you know? Doesn't know how to be any other way. Well, there are no real jobs here. But there are fake jobs, I guess. It wasn't always like this. When I came to work at the Echo River Central Exchange, there were 12 of us. Loretta, Edna, Meg, Cara, Marie, Louise, Liz, Hester, Angie, Wilma, Connie. I was number 12. Connie and I were hired on the same day, but she showed up early. Marie finished college and Hester was fired for snapping at a rude caller. But he had it coming, and I hear she did just fine on her own. So they hired Beryl, Jana, Sachko, which brought us up to 13. And that was as many operators as we ever had here at one time. The power company came along, buying up all the lines, and one day they took the exchange as a throw-in, like it was nothing. Nothing. And they started phasing us out. Edna, Meg, Kara, and Lois left one Friday evening and were asked not to come back on Monday morning. Beryl saw the writing on the wall and quickly found employment at a private PBX. They had Jan and Liz stop routing calls and write up some kind of best practices document instead. It was their final task as exchange employees. Some of the girls were reassigned to other divisions. Connie, I think, was checking residential meters. Sachko and Wilma were moved to energy sales, cold calling businesses to see if they needed to upgrade their electricity plan. At least they were still on the phone. Then it was just Loretta, Angie, and me. We were swamped. The hours were hell and hard on the throat. The voice with a smile became a croak. I was gargling warm salt water in the break room, sipping from a thermos full of hot honey broth stashed under my chair. Oh, I brought a lot of extended technique to the switchboard in those days. Sounded pretty good to me. Yeah, I'm impressed. So, where was I? Extended switchboard technique. It was all about timing your breath. Some girls got lightheaded doing too many calls in a row, with that upbeat dynamic inflection they made us use to keep everything intelligible. It was very physical. So, after a few months, it was just me. A new automation strategy was announced, and this place was rechristened Consolidated Auxiliary Switch Number 3. If it's automated, what do you do here? It's not fully automated. There's still gaps in functionality that need a human touch. And, it really is all about touch here. Sound is a vibration, a touch you feel in your ear. So my voice is my touch. When we're talking, we're touching, even on the phone. That's an electric touch, an intimate little shock that makes your tiny hairs tremble. But that's not even what I mean when I say it's all about touch here. When the power company first tried automating this old exchange with fancy new transistor arrays, the switchboard caught fire. It was just too much, too fast. So they tried using some clunky old mechanical relays, but then the calls were getting mismatched and out of sync. It was a nightmare. Their technicians determined that the phone system down here had been designed ad hoc over decades around the specific tempo of its human operators. So, short of replacing the whole thing, not to mention all the wiring, they'd have to work out the exact timing of every little human gesture that goes into routing a phone call. And that, officially, is my role here. I run the switchboard for the whole exchange. Once the work of 12, I'd like to remind you. They have some kind of machine somewhere that tracks how long it takes me to do each little thing. The caller never hears my voice now. They dial, my little indicator lights switch on, and I make the connection. Do you miss talking to callers? There's something that bothers me about the process, besides the fact that I'm training my replacement, who isn't even human. Here's what I mean. How long do you think it should take to time my every move and recreate that timing in an automated switchboard? Rough estimate. A couple days? That's what I said. But this has been going on for over a year, and a very dark thought has started to nag at me. What if there is no cheap machine that's going to replace me? What if it's cheaper to just keep me here, filling in for the rhythm of the operators? What if I'm the cheap machine? Why don't you just quit? In this economy? No, you're probably right. Working in silence for peanut shells, waiting to be replaced by a robot, it doesn't sound very dignified, does it? The reality is that I've been working here for my whole adult life. I came here as a girl, and I'll leave as a middle-aged woman. I don't know if I'm ready to be her yet. I sound like Dashiell. Oh, the parcel. Right over here by the lamp is fine. Thanks for dropping that off. Take care. Think of me when you dial 0. That was a very chat-ass joke. Oh shit, Conway is, he's one of them now. I don't know if I was supposed to be able to do anything about this or what. That control that popped up didn't seem to do anything. Rip Conway. We barely knew the guy. Oh, we're hauling ass. We are Conway. Oh, no, we're not. She returned on the dinghy alone. She had a strong and sudden urge to shut the motor off and let the current take her, but she couldn't work out where that impulse came from, so she did her best to resist it. She met a guitar player pedaling a floating bicycle with his dog in tow. He said they took turns. The water was cold and the floating bicycle, while technically marvelous, wasn't quite buoyant enough for the both of them. Swimming is hard work. The hardest work that dog had ever done, he expected. They'd been traveling this way for most of the night, struggling through the icy water, stopping to recover when they could find a rock large enough to start a small campfire. He had his belongings stuffed into a weathered guitar case at the end of a thin rope. It floated pretty well, so he only had to keep an eye on it and occasionally free it from a rock or some driftwood it was caught on. She asked if he had a guitar in his case or just clothes. He would have played her something, but the case leaked a bit, and he didn't think it would sound right until it had time to dry out. She met a family of 5 on a flat-bottomed skiff. The boat was loaded to capacity with black plastic bags and a few larger pieces of furniture wrapped in a blue tarp. 3 paddled, the 2 adults and the older child. The 2 younger children slept. They'd been traveling all night, first by car, and then for the last few hours by boat. Hungry and tired, they didn't plan to stop until they reached West Virginia, where a relative had offered to take them in. But the adults were happy to take a break from paddling in weary silence. They asked her about her river journey. She told them about the memorial. They were sympathetic. No minors in their family, but he was once injured at a warehouse job and had the fight for disability pay. They knew what these companies were like, and what it was like to have to assert your humanity to them. They wished her well and paddled on toward West Virginia. She met a painter of shipwrecks. He never worked from photographs, so his paintings could be divided into 2 categories. There were the ones he painted from life, and the Echo River was a very good source for these because its currents were so unpredictable and the tunnels so dark. He rendered these in oil paint by lamplight, working for hours cross-legged on the porch of his houseboat/studio. Then there were the ones he painted from memory, mostly the memory of a single wreck he encountered as a much younger man, picking up litter where the coastal highway cleaves to the rocky beaches of Northern California. These were done in watercolor. He preferred to work on them in the morning, in a room he rented near the airport in Louisville. He had some postcard-sized sketches in charcoal, too, of the Iron Pariah. It wasn't a wreck, exactly, but it felt right. He tried to scribble one down every time he encountered it, though it was just so unpredictable And he was so focused on details, he usually just ended up with a handful of inscrutable marks. She gave in, shut off the motor, and floated for a while. Then she knew what she'd been craving. A moment of silence. Bun, we're doing a moment of silence. Act 4, Scene 8. Sam and Ida's. Ooh. That's cool. Is that their diving bell? That rocks. Shannon scratches Blue behind her ear. Blue sighs. She smiles at the dog. Sam. Hello out there. Headed up or down? I'm just looking for the crew of the Mucky Mammoth. Yes, ma'am. They stop here every morning. I expect they're upstairs now, and I just got coffee going. I could use a cup myself. It's cold down here. Well, head on upstairs. She'll take care of you. I'll be along in a minute. It is crazy that I haven't played Firewatch. So cool. Just in time. We've already finished eating, but we're about to place a to-go order for Clara. She's back on board, getting ready for her show. Take a look at the menu. I'm sure there's something you'll like. Ida's a bit of a local celebrity, for her cooking, I mean. Hey, this poster on the wall back here is the same one from the survey place. Hey, Ezra was just asking about you. He's around the corner playing a video game. Maybe go let him know you two are back? Or where's the old man anyway? Uh-oh. Oh no. Bad luck. You'll get it next time. Hey, got a quarter? He's almost got this. Is this a video game? It's true. Sure, I have 1 quarter. Thank you. So, where's... Did he leave or did they take him? Did he leave or did they take him? You know, I'm going to go ahead and say that he left. I think he left. Oh. Okay. I have to say, I didn't know him very well, but he seemed like the kind of guy who was always on his way to somewhere else. Yeah. I'm going to go sit down. Cool. The food is good here. I think everyone else is finishing up, but you could probably get something to go. All right, Claw Maestro, let's give it another shot. So let's see what's on top of the pile here. There's a stuffed octopus, a plastic bag full of clamshells, a cowboy hat, and some big headphones. That octopus has a leg wrapped around the boombox underneath it. The shells are pretty clear, but I don't know if the claw can really grip that bag well. The cowboy hat is in the corner, so it's kind of tricky to tell if it's wedged in or not. Those headphones might be a good bet, but I can't see the cord. It could be wrapped around something. What are you going to try for? I can get the octopus. Wow, all right. I admire your confidence. Okay. When I put this quarter in, you'll have about 8 seconds to grab your prize. The octopus is square in the middle. Let me know if you need any help lining it up. I've got a slightly different view of the field from up here. Ready? Here we go. Octopus. Johnny inserts the coin and the machine awakens. 8. The claw hovers in the front left corner of the machine. In the front left corner? Okay. Ezra pushes the joystick up. 7. The claw hovers halfway along the left wall of the machine. Ezra pushes the joystick right. Timer 6. The claw hovers in the center of the machine. Ezra pushes the button to drop the claw. Fuck, I should have asked if it looked right. I didn't know there was another option down below. Oh well. The claw drops. It grabs the octopus. The octopus is attached too securely to the plastic boombox beneath it. It slips from the claw's grasp. Aw, no good. I had a feeling that octopus was a little too comfortable in there. Hey, listen, it sounds like that old man you were following around. I guess he had to leave. Is he okay? Yeah, he's okay. I mean, I'm sure he could be better, but I don't think we need to worry about him. Anyway, I don't know what kind of plans you have now, but if you need help figuring out your next move, you can always talk to me and Miss Junebug. I just wanted to make sure you know that. Could I keep going with you? Hey, I've got no objection. We have a pretty ad hoc thing going on, me and Junebug. I'd have to talk to her, but I bet you're welcome to tag along for a while if you're into it. Hey, maybe we still have time to poke around this place a little. They have some pretty wild stuff in here. Hey, did you see this? They keep a table full of fake food over here. I've never known why. Actually, I think it might be real food coated with shellac or something. Preserved. Shellac. Whatever. Oh, and look. This tentacle-looking thing is half-eaten. This is someone's meal that they didn't finish. I dare you to take a bite. Haha, you first. Okay. Well, hold on. I'm just kidding. If Sam and Ida preserved this half-eaten meal, it must have been pretty important to them, right? Maybe it belonged to someone they care about, like a beloved uncle had a mid-meal stroke, so they kept it in his memory. Yeah, like these sunflower seeds my folks left behind. Oh, I'm sure your folks are fine, though. Are you worried about them? Yes. It's weird that they just disappeared. Yeah. Listen, that's okay to be worried. You're doing fine. I am being held captive and actively tortured. Well, let's see. Bun is here. There's Chew. I just saw Gary a moment ago, and Gary was pretty busy with the floor. I don't think Pico would be interested in anything. So I'm going to go ahead and say that this is the work of Pumpkin. Oh, it could have been Spider, but we haven't seen Spider since the second eviction. Pumpkin is on my chest trying to make me as itchy as possible after she literally spit in my face. I'm sorry. I'm sorry that the cat is spitting on your face and sitting on you. Weird. Somehow I thought it was his truck and delivery and all. It was. That's what she's saying. He just left it behind. But you're going to deliver it anyway? Why? He's my friend. He needs my help to finish his job. That's right. He's our friend too. Johnny and I will help you unload when we get there. And I can't move because Penny is way too attentive right beside my chair. Well, apparently not attentive enough to notice that there's a cat spitting in your face. Lift with your legs, Cricket. Yes, ma'am. So, how was everything? How was the sweet cave snail? Ooh, devastating. You're a killer, Ida. Well, I can't take all the credit. Sam came across a whole cave snail colony down there about a year back, and we've been leaving rock candy for them to gorge on since. We just started harvesting early this month. Ah, yeah, if you move, and Penny will chase Pumpkin, yep. Oh, okay. I'll be right back. I have to move a cat. Or a dog. I guess I've been asked to move a dog. I'm muted. My bad. I can go back. Yes, it's all about patience down here. Everything grows more slowly in the dark. There's a fish in Lake Leth that lives about 200 years, and its flavor profile only develops at about 75. I've got a pot of bones in there that's been stewing for at least a week. I don't even remember why I put them on. Come to think of it, I don't even remember what kind of bones they are. Oh, we need one for the road. Clara said she wanted, something primordial, she said. What does that mean? Kate reviews the menu. She must have meant something simple. She meant something old-fashioned. I think she meant something from very deep in the lake. Primordial does kind of mean simple, because it's like original. It's basic components. Could also mean old-fashioned in that way. It could also mean very deep in the lake. It could mean all these things. I'll go with simple. Ah, could be. Hands Shannon the menu. Here, you pick. I'm no good at this. Shannon inspects the menu. I think she'd like balsamic carrot, old scallop with small salad and cave fish, blind prawn cakes with cranberry butter sauce. Or we turn the page and we get some different stuff. Let's get different stuff. Shannon turns the page. Spicy blind salamander and rice, barnacle cauliflower soup, mussel hot pot, charred blind salamander with cranberry black bean relish, pork and shrimp gumbo, cedar plank mollusk with Parmesan herb crust and butter sauce, buttermilk crusted crayfish kebabs, basic steamed squid, sweetwater cuttlefish and carrot fritters with orange sauce, Ida's smoked salamander spread with New York toast, barnacle log, mussel spread, balsamic shallot, crayfish and black bean cakes with Missouri remoulade, mollusk cakes with mango butter sauce, aged shrimp and bread, Monday night salamander, sweetwater cuttlefish hot pot. I think these are all randomly generated. This one's hitting the most for me so far. Monday night salamander. So let's ship it. Good choice. Your friend will love it. I'll have that right out, sweetie. Ezra leans over the table and carefully examines the preserved food and drink. He prods a half-eaten tentacle. Nah, he gently compresses a pea-sized eyeball on a plate. The eye is hard, like glass. Oh, you like candied fisheye? Most kids are repulsed just by looking at them, which is a shame because they're really delicious. I have a bowl of them in the kitchen. I'll bring some out. Sorry I startled you, sweetie. Why didn't they finish their meal? Well, they had more than twice as much food as they really needed, so even half was too much. This food is about 15 years old. It's true. Things were different then. Nobody came to eat here. We were fighting just to keep the lights on. Sam, my husband, Sam, was depressed. He couldn't catch anything. That was part of the problem. Most of what we served was shipped and frozen or dried, and I just threw it in the fryer. We've both come a long way since then. Well, two young men came in for dinner. Seasoned divers, they said. Over 10,000 hours between them and Lake Leth alone. They'd been out all day salvaging parts from a riverboat wreck and had worked up a fierce hunger, they said. They ordered the whole menu without even looking. It was a short menu in those days. I sat them right here, and went back to the kitchen. Sam was at the next table doing Sudoku and drinking malt liquor, his usual routine at the time. An hour later, I was cleaning up when Sam came bursting into the kitchen. Ida, he said, kind of frantic. These divers are still hungry. Bring them another course. And I said, they've already ordered the whole menu. Sam said, make something new. Keep making up dishes, whatever. Just keep bringing out food. So I did until the small hours of the morning. I made up so many new dishes that night I could write a book. And it was good, inspired. But I was working so hot and fast at the burning edge of inspiration, I didn't think to write any of it down. And I was so wrecked with exhaustion the next day, I knew I couldn't remember what all I'd done in the kitchen. Sam thought we could take a photograph of the leftovers, but we couldn't get the lighting right, so we just shellacked the whole table. Now, when I need inspiration for the menu, I come and look here and think about all those ingenious dishes I threw together for those divers. Of course, they didn't pay their full bill. I heard one of them complaining to the other, let's just pay half and let them charge the other half to whatever demon in the kitchen kept making up food faster than we could ask for it. But it all worked out. Things have really turned around since then. This place is actually pretty popular now. The success in our expanded menu inspired Sam, too. He started bringing back the most magnificent ingredients from his nightly dives. I'd better get to work. Stay right here, sweetie, and I'll bring you a treat on my way back out. Well, buddy, I guess you're the catch of the day. The one and only. So, what are you? You look like, well, some kind of eel, I guess. Kind of a mopey little guy, huh? Yeah, I can see it in your eyes. You smell like sort of buttery. Well, that should be just fine. Skin feels like sandpaper. Huh. Well, she'll figure something out. Think I'll call you Buttery Eel. Welcome to Sam and Ida's, the one and only Buttery Eel. I hope you enjoy your stay. I mean, not too much. Have you ever seen a creature like me before? You were pretty far down there. I wouldn't be surprised if I'm the first, except there were two divers who went before me long ago. Maybe that was before your time. How old are you, anyway? I wonder. They ate here once, back in the bad old days. Two young guys. Could have been brothers, maybe. I was over in the corner with my coffee and crossword. Wait a minute. Coffee and crossword? I thought it was Sudoku and whiskey. I hadn't been able to catch a thing, so Ida just fried up something from Frozen. Well, these guys were hungry enough to eat it and asked for more, and they did at least as much talking as eating. See, like I said, they were divers, and like I said, they might have been brothers. They had a kind of a rivalry going between them or something. Ida was about to write up their check, but I slipped calmly and quietly into the kitchen for a minute and told her to just keep bringing out food. Wait a minute, I thought he went in there in a panic and shouted it. I figured they wouldn't notice, caught up in their boasting as they were, and I wanted to listen. They went back and forth for hours about all the deep and dangerous dives they'd been on, new tunnels they'd discovered, all the weird creatures they'd encountered at the weirdest depths of Lake Leth. It was like a dance. No, like a boxing match. Each story went deeper than the last. And I listened to every word of it, memorized every description of every tunnel and diving route they'd discovered. That's my map now, you see. For 15 years, I've been using routes those two young divers discussed right there at that table. Yeah, I could write a guidebook to the depths of this lake, but I don't dare. Someone would steal my good diving spots, and then where would we be? See, people come here from all over just to try our daily catch because they know it's unique. Ain't you proud? Since I can't write any of it down, I just preserved that table where they had their meal so I can look at it to jog my memory. Like they were eating pickled crab when they talked about that shipwreck full of salamanders. Pretty clever, huh? It's my own secret code. Well, I'll be straight with you, buttery eel. There is one feature of this arrangement that I find unsettling. In fact, I lose a decent amount of sleep over it. I told you those boys were competing, right? One-upping each other, I mean. Getting wilder and more adventurous as they traded tales. Well, I navigate mostly in the dark down there, just going by touch and a kind of mental picture I can construct from their detailed boasts. And every time I explore a new diving spot from those recollections, I have to weigh it all against the risk that I'm headed right into a dangerous falsehood. One of those men could have felt for a moment like he was losing some ground in their little duel, so he could have slipped a fake one in there. Maybe told a fib about some dive he went on and found a colony of blind shrimp living in a discarded refrigerator. And when I get down there, my diving bell cracks open on a sharp rock where he said the fridge would be, and that's the end of Sam of Salmonitis. To be honest, the possibility puts the fear of death in me every time I touch water. Hey, Sam. Good haul tonight? We'll see what you can make of it. Yeah, pretty good, I think. I hit some trouble down by the narrow tunnel. Some kind of fast-growing freshwater barnacles just about sealed it up. I picked away for half an hour before I gave up and went around the other way. But I got the catch of the day. That's the important part. That's what people travel for. What's the catch today? This here's a buttery eel. Mopey, sandpapery old eel. I don't know how she'll fix him, but that sandpapery quality ought to do something for, what do they call it? Mouthfeel? Will you stay for a drink? I've got a dark rum that goes well with coffee. Haha. I think we're about to leave, but thanks. Just passing through. Hey, aren't we all? Oh, she's got your food ready. Y'all enjoy your meal, all right?
This world is not my home. I'm just passing through. My treasures and my hopes are placed beyond the blue. Many friends and kin have gone on before, and I can't feel at home in this world anymore. Oh Lord, you know I have no friend like you. If heaven's not my home, oh Lord, what will I do? Angels beckon me to heaven's open door, and I can't feel at home in this world anymore. I have a loving mother up in glory land, and I don't expect to stop until I shake her hand. She's waiting now for me in heaven's open door, and I can't feel at home in this world anymore. Oh
It was very nice. See that? Just looks like a swirling mess of garbage, doesn't it? Well, that's what it is. I don't know why trash seems to collect right there. Of all the spots on the lake, it's always been that way. Everyone just navigates around it like it was an island or something. Look closely, you can see some wood scraps from the old canoe rental shop. Gemini Canoe and Firewood. The place was run by twin sisters, Cassie and Paula, I think. This was years ago. They used to rent out canoes to tourists, campers, pilgrims, folks like that. They must have some kind of deal with the distillery. You'd always see a couple of Hard Times boys posted up on the dock, peddling small bottles to their customers. Cassie and Paula worked those old canoes to death, wrung every penny out of them. They'd only take one out of commission when it was truly, demonstrably dangerous, and you couldn't get a refund unless your boat was visibly taken on water. The side business in Firewood was a stroke of minor genius. Yeah, this cluttered place makes a decent local museum. It's as good a history as I could ever tell. We arrived at a small houseboat neighborhood that sometimes hosted concerts for the pleasure of its residents, where Clara was scheduled that night to perform. Junebug and Johnny watched the show from the dockyard with the others. Act 4, Scene 9. A neighborhood. Seems like a lovely place to take a little break. And we'll open with this next time. Yeah. Thank you for watching. Tomorrow is Friday, so we will be doing more of this. Saturday, Enjoyers Committee, if you haven't done the cool work, this is your reminder. Ghostbusters 1, Ghostbusters 2. 2 ghosts, 2 movies. Give them a watch. We will be talking about them on Saturday. Until next stream, everybody, have a great night. I'll see you later.